up, everybody? What's going on? And I just want to say that I am streaming from two channels today. So I'm grown up.
Yeah, you're
I'm
all
streaming
grown
from
up.
right since 2000. And also the Tech Trash Talk Alley 22. Welcome aboard. The more the merry area. You hear me? The more the merrier. Welcome aboard, and thank you for joining me, Miss Corio Lover.
Thank you for having me.
Corio Love in half. The Corio Love in half. So it's obvious. You can tell by the title, and actually, the title is a play on words for the Trash Talk Alley channel. Because whenever you have to excuse my voice, because you know, got
You
some little
sound you're perfectly understandable.
yeah,
You
I'm
can
under the
understand every
weather.
word. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a play on words from the Trash Talk Alley channel. Usually, when something comes up and we need to put some trash on the curb or
Mhm.
air a ninja out,
Mhm.
we say, "Let's get your glad bags and put a ninja on the curb."
Okay.
And tonight, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're about to put the trash out, put the ninja on on the curb. So
Okay.
I don't know how many people follow the Atlanta Street interviews. I started following um I want to say almost 2 years ago.
Mhm.
I want to
Oh,
say
you've been
about
watching for a long time.
yeah, I
Okay.
want to say I've been watching for about 2 years.
Okay.
And because I was really intrigued by how he was able to go out and find these people that were living in the streets and or whatever the situation, and being able to kind of talk to them and see what got you here, and, what could
Mhm.
possibly help you to get back on track, and
Mhm.
steady. And through these we have met some interesting people. Like
Mhm.
one of the fan favorites was Josias. Josias was the young man that was from Ohio,
Mhm.
and he came and he uh kind of was a little character. He would perform and you know, but it's
Mhm.
obvious um he's on the spectrum,
Oh,
and
okay.
that he wasn't um his mind and his age weren't equally up, you know. So he was out in the streets and he did not have to be. And his dad really loved him. Hey, Sugar, thank you for coming on. And if you want to join us, you are feel free, Sugarfoot. But yeah, he was out on the street. He didn't have to be because his dad. Once his dad saw his interview with Marcus, he reached out and he actually came down to try to get him to go home. He drove from Ohio to Atlanta when he got off of work to try to
Uh-huh.
convince him home. So, a lot of times when people see their loved ones on the interviews, they reach out to them or they'll call them
Right.
and say, this isn't what happened or whatever. And those type of stories, you know, would, seem like they could have a better ending than what they were
Mhm.
living. But then
Mhm.
I started noticing that in some of these interviews, the questions start appearing to be a little edgy.
Mm-hmm.
He started getting to the point to where, he would ask questions like, well, he might ask a question like, "Have you ever suffered any sexual abuse or something like that?" Now,
Uh-huh.
I get asking that.
Mm-hmm.
But he kept gone so far as he would say, "What kind? How did it make you feel? Did you have an orgasm?" Things like, "Oh,
What? Did you have an orgasm?
yes, yes. Did you,
Oh, wow.
stuff like that." I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Charge to my head, not my heart. But he would ask certain questions like that, and to me, it was like, all right, now you borderline and pervertism worked for me. That's a little edgy for me. I don't really like that. But they kept answering the question and they kept talking and they kept saying what they gonna say. And I'm like, okay, well, listen.
People
And
do
then
anything for money.
I started
When
noticing, I'm sorry.
I said people, when you find them as vulnerable as homeless people are, especially vulnerable homeless women and children, they'll do anything for that money that he's offering, you
Mhm.
know, and so
And
they're gonna answer the questions.
then I started finding out that
That
he was only giving them like $10 an interview. So, like, basically, people are hurting or whatever. And for someone that's trying to get ahead, of course, that $10 is going to do something. But somebody trying to get off the street, that $10 is not even going to get him a room for the night.
no, but it'll get
So,
them some McDonald's or some,
right, it'll get him something, but compared to what he's making off those each interview,
right.
he can at least give him what they call it, a dub, whatever they call it, $20
No,
bill.
a dub is 20.
Yeah, I'm just
Right.
making sure. So, and
Mhm.
then it started. In one of the interviews that I heard, he asked the young lady, "So how are you supporting yourself out here? Are you selling yourself?" And she said, "Yeah." He said, "How much?"
Wow.
Well, my thing was, why would you ask her something like that? And so my antenna started going up, and I started getting a little bit of suspicions, but still trying to get a man the benefit of the doubt. Then I started hearing the rumors. The young lady started coming with the rumors. The rumor started that Marcus was Marcus propositioned me. He wanted sex. This, that, and the third. So after I started hearing one after the other, and I started saying, see, when you start hearing stuff a lot like that, there's some truth to it. Because everybody not lying.
Right. And your discernment is probably on 100. And so when you start hearing that, you already knew. You already knew when your antennas start going up with those questions this low. I feel
Mm-hmm.
you. I feel your, inside was telling you, So when you start hearing those stories, you're like, I knew it. I knew it.
Hi, that
I
girl. Hey, sugar. Oh, girl, we got to talk. Girl, we have to talk. Girl, we got to talk. Yes, ma'am. We got to talk. But so yeah, I'm like thinking to myself, just like you said, your discernment, not only you got grown women for daughters, and you see that I didn't know about it. You gotta remind me about this stuff. And I
right.
worked today, so I missed the podcast, baby. But
Hmm.
you got your antennas going up and you get that discernment. So you kind of know when you know, like you said. So
Mhm.
when I started hearing these little rumors, it started getting to me. So then I seen
Mhm.
a video a few months ago where the young lady Monique came up and said that that Marcus wasn't right,
Mhm.
and that he had told her that he would help her.
Mhm.
And she met him in line trying to get an Obama phone. He
Right.
tapped her on the shoulder to get him out of line. And so she went in and did the interview because she needed the money or what have you. And
Mhm.
then after that, he said, "Well, he propositioned her for sex for money." So after the interview, right after the interview, she said, and so he talked her down. She wanted $200, and he told her 100. She ended up taking it. So she went and she said that when she got there, he told her that she had to wash her clothes because he didn't know where her clothes had been, and this, that, and the other. And she said no sooner she got in the door, he was like, "Well, come on, let's do it."
Mhm.
And so it was like he was right to it. And then he told her he wanted a redo because it was over too fast
Right.
for him.
he,
So
he
he wasn't satisfied. So he wanted to redo. Well, I mean, it's like he didn't get no receipt or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, they act like this McDonald's redo my sandwich because it wasn't right the first time. It's just terrible.
right, exactly.
Right. So she went ahead and she was like, what that ain't. And she went ahead and did it because she was off the streets and
Right.
she had a place to crash for the night. So she was like, "Oh, okay." So the next day,
No, remember, okay, go ahead.
he
Re-
given her the edible. The next time they had an account, she had given her the edible and she fell asleep because she was high
right,
off the.
but after
Go
the
ahead.
first time, and this was, I mean, it all made me mad because she looked like a baby in the daggone video she made on her Obama phone, mind you. But
Right.
what made me mad was you let's see, you came and went so fast the first time. She said like 2 minutes, and then you want to redo because you came and went. I'm trying to be nice.
I
The
got
first time too quick, and so you want to redo. You get a redo, and then she said she was feeling like, okay, I did that. Maybe now I could just go to sleep, for a couple hours. And remember, she said he was like, come on, let's go. And then he dropped her off and was like, call me if you need anything,
need
and dropped
anything.
her.
Right. Right. And so he dropped
Yeah,
her like it's over, it's done. He treated her just like a
yeah,
John,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So that's when the next time they came together was when he had given her the edible, and she ate that
yeah.
edible. He's like, "Well, come on, let's do what we're gonna do, because that's gonna have you knocked out for like at least 3 days." Now, the first thing that came to my mind: why would you give anybody something that's gonna knock them out for
Well,
three
he gave
days?
her two. Remember, she ate one.
He gave her one, and she took the other one.
Okay, okay. So there was two,
So,
and
and
yeah,
that's when he got to like, oh well, yeah, let's go on and get to it, cause whatever. And she laid in the bed and fell asleep. And when she fell asleep, um, he got mad when woke up, and that's when he threw her clothes out and put her out the building in the middle of the night because
right.
he couldn't get his watch off. So then we come to
That
the
left her
young
with no clothes. The
right,
little
no
bit
clothes.
she
He put her
had.
out in the middle of the night, and then
Right.
The security people dropped her off in a whole nother city. And I
Yeah.
think they were just trying to cover up for dude. But anyway, then this will get to the young lady
Didn't she
from the
say that the
video
chief?
last night, Yana.
Okay.
We get to one for the video, Yana. And Yana, they crossed up somehow. Because Yana said that there were times when, okay, let me go back. Yana is a young lady that he also finessed from off the streets. I guess Yana was one of those ones he felt like this would be a long-term situation somewhere. But when he did what he did to that young lady, that's what made me totally just say, you know what, I'm done. Because what he does is he preys on the mind of these young women. He wine them and dine them and treat them as if,
Wine them and dine them?
yes, this young lady, this one, I'm talking about Yana. I'm talking about Yana now. He was whining and dining her. Remember, they got on a date.
See,
The
here
same,
I couldn't understand a lot of it, so I might have
yeah.
missed
So
that part.
yes, they went out on a date the same night that they had the interview. They went out on a date, and when they went out on a date,
She was
okay,
homeless, right? So
right, she was
he couldn't
homeless.
he couldn't have taken her any place decent. I mean, because she
She
was
said he
homeless.
took her to a rooftop restaurant or something.
I don't believe it, but go ahead. I don't believe that, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, anyways, they went out to the restaurant or what have you.
Uh huh.
And after that, he dropped her off. Then he claimed that he just called to check on her to see how she was, to let her know that he made it in and to make sure she made it in. Well, when she said she didn't make it in, he was like, oh my God, she's out in the cold. What? All of them out in the cold?
All of them were out in the severe heat or cold, and
Exactly.
if you were such a gentleman, this is why I don't believe it. If you're such a
Exactly.
gentleman and you took you're 40, and she's 23 at the time. I think it might have been younger at the time, but if you took the time to take her out on a rooftop dinner, don't you think he would have taken the time to take her home so he would have already knew she was home? You know, where you drop her off in the middle of the street, you go home and you won't call her to make sure she walked home. It just go ahead. It didn't make
Right.
sense.
Well, he said he dropped off when she asked to be dropped off. But anyway,
Oh,
he knew the girl
okay.
was home, period.
Yeah.
So anyway, and they end up, he was like, I'm coming to get you. I'm just gonna come because I'm not gonna have you out on the street. No, 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 no. Man, bite the bullet because ain't nobody buying it. Okay?
No,
Nobody
no,
buying it.
no.
You can keep rocks with open toe shoes on with ashy, crusty feet and no Vaseline. I ain't
Right.
playing with that one. I ain't gullible like that. You went and got the girl because you wanted to do what you wanted to do. And from that one night, she stayed with him for 5 months. But in that 5 months, she basically had to live in the closet. Literally.
She had to she had to live in his walk-in closet. That's mhm. When his what did he say? When his kids would come over because he had kids and they would come over for visitation or whatever because he's only 40, so he may have small children. You know what I mean?
That
She
young
would have
girl.
to she would have to stay in the closet while his kids were there, and I'm like, how did she use the bathroom? What
And
did
then he
she
said, well,
eat?
And a lot of times she worked on the weekend, so she wouldn't even be there during the day and whatever. And then when she did, she would just chill in the closet. I wouldn't even told nobody that.
Oh,
I wouldn't even
but
told nobody.
see, I think that since she got in contact with Kiki, I don't think that he knew exactly how much was going to get out. And I think that's why he did this video because he was trying to get out in front of what might come out
It
about
was
him.
damage control.
Yes,
But he ain't do
yes,
nothing with yourself in the foot.
yes.
You just bit off your nose to spite your face.
I can't
That's
believe
what you
she, eh,
did.
yeah,
But when
because
you had, go ahead, baby.
she's 23, homeless, a prostitute. I mean, well, let's just call her a tootie. Okay, you a tootie. What can you can't put your foot down and say I don't feel that it's right. I have to spend a whole weekend or days in a closet. Go ahead, dog. It just almost it
And
broke
then
my
she
heart.
shows her cash out where he sent her 960 some odd dollars over the last five months. And that's what she feel like is taking care of her.
Yeah,
$900 it wouldn't be my rent. You understand?
I understand.
$900 wouldn't be my
But when you're
that's
23,
crazy.
she's probably never even had her own apartment yet due to
Exactly.
circumstances. So she doesn't know that's not even enough to pay the
And,
deposit on an apartment.
and she's from Chicago. So she's not even from here. So here's the thing. Not only did he take advantage of that girl, but it was the same thing. Sex. He wanted sex.
Yeah,
Not only did he have sex with that girl, he had threesomes and foursomes with that girl.
that's what she said, and I don't think he wanted her to tell that. I don't
He
think he wanted
didn't.
her to tell that.
He
Mm-mm.
didn't because his face on the look on his face was like,
Right, right. But
But
see, like I
he was
said,
having threesomes and foursomes with this girl, and then the way he came off of it. Well, yeah, we came. I went and got her, and we had a good night. We had a great date, and one thing led to another. We had sex. Like, I'm grown, she's grown. I'm attractive, she's attractive. You're not that
he's
attractive.
not attractive.
You
He,
look like a
he's
little rat.
he's
He looks
barely
mouthy
okay
and sneaky.
looking. Yeah,
He
he's
looks
barely
mouthy
okay
and
looking.
sneaky. He looks so
And
sneaky.
he does, and
And
his teeth are crooked. I mean, crooked, and then he's missing the whole what is it, right side on the bottom. He has a whole quadrant missing, and it's like
and
ugh,
then he body builds. So I think that's
he
his
does.
arrogance. He does bodybuilding.
I didn't see that.
Competition.
Yeah, I didn't see.
He does bodybuilding competitions.
Mm,
But it still don't help his face. But anyway,
no, and those
it's
missing
just
teeth, missing
girl.
crooked teeth. But go ahead.
And then so he goes and he's real narcissistic about it. Like
He's definitely a narcissist.
he is very narcissistic about it. Like, oh
Oh
well, it
God.
is what it is. It is what it is. But the part about it, y'all, listen to this, everybody. He decided at the 1st of December that he wanted his space back after living with this girl for 5 months. And he can't continue to say what he says to all of these girls when he let them come and stay with him. You are a house guest. You don't live here. You are a house guest. And let's see how it works. Let me test you out and see how it works. That all he's saying is, I want sex when I want it, and I'm paying you for it. Because that's what
And
he
you
told the
know,
first girl.
right. And you know
And
that it's easy to claim someone is only a house guest when they don't get mail at your home or establish any credit, or anything while living in your home. He's very smart and diabolical like that because he knows that if he gets these homeless people, they're not going to establish that they live there with him because they won't be getting any mail there. So he's very smart. So at any time, he could kick them out. And that's also what made me mad that he gets these young homeless girls to have sex with, and he knows the laws to get around certain things, and they're clueless. But go ahead.
but here's the thing. This is how calculated he is. He knew in October that this girl was pregnant by him. And he convinced first he said, "Oh, and I was happy I don't have a son, blah 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 blah, and this, that, and the other." He played with her mind to get what he wanted. And then he told her to unalive the baby
Right.
and
And
put her out in the street. He told her to unalive that baby and he put that girl out on the street.
mhm,
While he was still, now here's the thing. She said that while she was there were times when she would be on the couch, sleeping while he in the room, banging another woman,
right.
or in the
Yeah.
closet again.
Yeah.
And he act like this is something normal.
Yeah.
That's not
He's
normal.
trash. He is
He
such
is. I'm
trash.
so sorry. I'm sorry, Marcus. I don't have the respect that I had for you at once upon a time. I think not only are you a narcissist, you are a predator. You are a calculated manipulator. You got um addiction issues. And I think it's terribly dangerous for you to be sleeping in the raw with all these different women, especially homeless women, because out of desperation, they could have done something with the wrong person that was on fire. And then you could very well be spreading that fire.
And
And you know
besides that, says she was a homeless prostitute. So there's no question about it that odds are she slept and maybe got some, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know that she was a prostitute though.
She
Because I
said
think
she
she was
was.
working. I know. I didn't remember that part. So you got one up on me. But at any rate, it does not matter. He preys on young women that's willing to allow his sexual fantasies to come to pass. And he takes advantage of them. Most of these women that's out there doing what they doing sexual favors for money are doing it because of the fact that they're homeless trying to get through the night or because they have addiction issues. But
Hmm.
that doesn't mean that you pose as someone that's out there trying to help them and you really out there to prey on them just like any other predator. You just clean up well. You just sleep well. You just ride good. And then
I
for you to
agree.
make this girl that's at least 17 years your junior unalive
Because,
her baby,
right.
and you turn right around and sleep with somebody else in the raw, just like you did her. And then she liked them quick. Why? Why am I
Right.
hating? And yeah, she didn't just like him. She liked the fact that she was getting some attention, and he still took advantage of it. What I'm hating for? I don't have to hate. Got my
Mm,
own. I got my own
mm.
baby. All my kids raised. I ain't hating about nothing. And you must be just like him with a little narrow mind and a little tic tac size peen. I ain't hating about nothing. How about that?
Somebody dropped in the chat and say something.
Yeah, girl,
Let
I
me
don't care.
look.
She approached him. She didn't approach him. He approached her for an interview. And she called him and thanked him for the interview. And he asked her. And he took her out. And he went and got her in the middle of the night at 3 in the morning. What's open at 3 in the morning?
Legs.
White and legs. So it does not matter. That doesn't matter. And we're not talking about them having consensual sex. We're not talking about that. We're talking about him making her unalive her baby after he played with her mind and told her he wanted a son. We're talking about him using her to do what he wanted to do and kept her hidden in the closet. Now, what part about that?
I don't see anything
It
that.
doesn't, listen, okay. I know what you're talking about, and whether she asked him first or not is not the question. Let's go beyond that. Let's go beyond that. I'm talking about what he did after the fact. You think that's right? In all honesty, he got daughters. Do you think that's okay for him to have his
Mhm.
child hiding in the closet,
Right.
having her sleeping, sitting up banging other women? She ain't like it. She ain't have nowhere to go. She was off the streets, so she went along with the program. But she was obviously hurt about it. And then check this out. You don't think there's nothing wrong with him wanting to go and pray again on a young lady that was a double amputee? The double amputee, he would flirt with her and asked her about was she did people look at her like a fetish? He's got a problem, Sean.
Your sound is going in and out.
He's got a problem, Sean. And there's absolutely nothing right about that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's better. Hmm.
Yeah, it's probably because I get excited and I'm not yelling about anybody. I just get excited to talk about. But I'm talking to Sean Woods, and he might be on my other channel. They might be on my other channel. But if you can see in the comments, he's saying,
I saw.
she like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what I do. I'll do this so you can see. And then he said, she approached him.
Yeah. I saw
He
that.
said, oh,
No.
go back and
Go
listen when they
back
went
and listen.
upstairs. And then that. So my thing is, darling, is not only was that wrong, but the fact that he continues to pick women up and do the same type of thing to all of them. Do you think it's okay for him to prey on these unfortunate women, people, use them for his sexual satisfaction, and then kick him to the curb when he's ready to go on to the next? Because he said it was like December the 1st, I'm ready for my space back. I'm ready to go back and get my life back in order. But how convenient was that when he just found out that the girl was pregnant? And then at first he said, "Oh, I was happy because I wanted a son." But then my gut, my
You're
instinct,
going you're going out again.
he kept saying, "My gut instinct." Can you hear
Hmm.
me? He
Yes,
kept saying,
whatever you're doing right now, keep doing that. What you're doing right now, because I can hear you.
I just put my speaker close. He just said,
Okay.
my gut instinct told me that it wouldn't work out. It took you 5 months and a baby to figure out that your gut instinct is saying that it's not going to work between you and this young lady.
Can
After
I
you,
say
go ahead.
can I say something? I also found it weird that he just kept in the beginning, closer to the beginning of the story, he seemed like he was just so impressed that she was quiet, that she was basically docile, she was calm, she didn't, she wasn't loud. It was just all these things that would give a person who is trying to take advantage of a person. They were all the qualities that you would look for. And she was just, quiet and stuff. And I thought that was very telling. It's like, because he said that made her the perfect, house guest. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, wow,
He expressed how
okay,
that he said she was clean, very, very clean. So
yes,
here's the thing. He keeps expressing that house guest thing. But guess
yes.
what? I wonder if that's what he told his daughter's mom, because they were in a relationship for years and he never married her. They were never married and they were together for
Hmm.
years.
Hmm.
So this guy obviously wants to have his cake and eat it too, literally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But there is absolutely nothing okay with him, going out using homeless people. You are using was a crime committed
But see, you know what? That's another
morally,
fact.
morally and ethically, yes.
And and
Lawfully,
and and
no.
what I want to say to that is just jump in. Homeless people, vast majority don't have ID. So I'm wondering, is he just going by mouth of what these young girls tell him their ages are? Because I said that girl did not look 23 to me. She didn't. So, he really needs to be careful that he can verify these ages. 'Cause
You there, Corio? Sean, you sound like you work for you work for his PR department or something. I can't believe that you find this okay though. I can't believe that you find that it's okay for him to use women like that. You don't know him. You don't know him. Okay. I'm typing too fast. I get it. Corio, did you mute yourself? Were you laughing? You probably have to go out and come back in because I can't hear you. You say you don't know him, huh? Could you do something like that? Are you good with that? You don't think there's anything wrong with, you know, using women, preying on women because of their situation, or preying
I'm
on people?
sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Because for some people, it's not just women. They prey on anybody to make a sexual fantasy come to pass.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got a phone call, but what I was
So
trying to say is that
it would never be okay, Sean, to use anybody like this. But it's really bad when you go out there saying that you're coming to help someone, or you're doing this to help someone, to bring light to a bad situation and to help them better themselves. But that's not what you're really doing. You're using that platform to satisfy your sexual appetite. That's, I mean, there are women and men that are promiscuous and that have a strong sexual appetite. I'm just saying that it's really wrong to create a platform given the idea that you are trying to help a person out of a bad situation, or you're using that situation as if you were really trying to help them better themselves, but you're really using that situation to satisfy you. That's wrong. How did he help? How did he help? How did he help? She lived in a closet, Sean. She lived in a closet. You messed with that girl's mind. And then you manipulated her when she tried to tell her truth. Corio, it should be in your text. Oh my goodness. It's not about whether or not he didn't have to force. There are some people that you don't have to force, but you can manipulate. Okay, here, come baby. There are some people. There it goes. You want?
and can you hear me?
I give you five.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, no. Sean, he needs to be very careful because under normal circumstances, homeless women don't have ID. And so if he's going by word of mouth, that they're telling him they're 23, it's because they don't want people to know their real age. They're scared of getting arrested, and he just better make sure that those girls are the ages that they say they are. Because to me, as a woman, she did not. Yana did not look 23 to me. She looked
And you know
like.
what? Go ahead. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. He just needs to be careful because when I was trying to log in, I saw where he said, "Was there a crime committed?" Mr. Marcus just better make sure and double check to make sure there are no crimes committed. Because Yana looked to me as a woman, Cislo, you may feel different. She looked like she was between like 17 and 20, maybe. What do you think,
She looked
Cislo?
like she was about 18, 19. But here's
Yeah.
the thing, to add to piggyback on what you said. I was watching um I think it's called White Underbelly or something Underbelly, where this thing
Soft white underbelly. I
There you
love
go.
that show.
Yes, and there was one young lady on there that was 13 years old. She did not look it.
Hmm.
She been prostituting and on the blaze, as she called it,
Hmm.
for a minute, and her mother did it.
Hmm.
Her dad was a pimp.
Hmm.
She did not look 13. So when she would get out there on the strong, and there would be other women that was mad because she was taking money from them, they
Hmm.
start bamming on the John's car saying, she only 13. You effing with a kid. You effing with a kid. Stuff like that. So this
Hmm.
is true. Those things could.
It
You
very well could.
like,
And so
what's
when
worse?
Sean, yeah, when Sean wrote that in the chat, I'm like, are you serious? Was there a crime committed? Actually, Sean, prostitution, except for in certain places like the ranch in Nevada, prostitution is illegal. And he's paying women, even if they're above 21 years of age, he's paying women for X. So, yes, that is illegal.
Breaking the
That
law.
is harmful.
Exactly.
Yeah, breaking the
I
law.
ain't,
But go ahead. I digress. Go ahead. Men
I
just
know.
kill me, making these straw man um, statements that have nothing to do with anything, or it diverts the actual truth. Go ahead, sis Law. I'm gonna shut up.
No.
It's
It's
just irritating.
no, she may not have been prostituted, but there were women that were prostituted. You're wrong.
When he made an offer to her for sex, that became illegal. Now I know men are like,
But we're
well,
not even talking about Ayana. We're talking about the young ladies before that, Monique and all the other, Layla and all the other ones. Because Monique, he paid Monique $100 to have sex.
right.
Yes, he did. And she's not lying. He does pay women to have sex with him. And that's wrong. It's against the law.
You need to go
So
look
you're
up the women who have started YouTube channels and they talk about their experiences with him. They're very close to Yana's. The only thing is there was something about Yana that he liked that made let him move her in and she stayed consistently for 5 months. Otherwise, the stories are identical. And, I'm just not even going to say anything to you anymore and let Cisco handle you because, um, ideas like this with men, it just irritates me, because you guys justify and you stick around for each other when, it comes to sex and women, because it's quite obvious what happened? And you'll sit down in the
because
chat and say that it didn't. It's
they both
ridiculous.
said it. They both admitted to it. They both admitted to it. Okay? Okay. So like you need to go back and like do your research. Yeah, because they said it. It is all of this because they said it. Come on now, Sean. Come on. Because they said it. The two involved said it. That's not gossip. They Sean, come on. You gotta come better than this, sweetie. You gotta come better than this. Because now you sounding crazy. You sounding crazy.
Out of
You sound
all the foul mess that was told by Marcus and that girl in that video, all of the foul mess, even
and
how
you
she
need
got up
facts.
to how she got pregnant was foul. And you going to excuse all of that and the only thing you found wrong with it was that she got they unalived the baby. Are you serious? Your morals stop at that. But everything else he did to this young girl is okay. But your moral compass stops at the unaliving. Get out of here. Go ahead, Sis Love. I'm really
You
gonna
are
shut
at
up
this
now.
point, you are just trolling. Go ahead,
Let him troll.
Sean. You're
We
doing too
just
much.
know what it is.
And the facts that I have come from the horse's mouth. You're trying to justify something because 9 times out of 10 is something that you would do
Or are doing. Right.
or are
Exactly.
doing. Exactly. So you just nasty or just as shady or just as narcissistic and manipulative.
Mm.
It is what it is.
My
He's a
father would have a
narcissistic
problem with what
predator.
he did because my father had, daughters. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So just on that level, he would have a problem with it. If nothing else, he would have a problem with it because he put his
I'm not a
daughters
gossiper.
in that
And you
position.
okay? This is Sean. I'm sorry, Oreo. You came to my channel for what? If I'm a gossiper, you are a intaker of gossip. Because you here for what? So if that's the case, just sit back and enjoy it. If that's what you call it. No. I'm a giver of information.
It's commentary. If he
And I'm
put,
giving
if he,
my commentary on what's going
right,
on.
if
Okay. Well, if you
if
thought I had
Marcus,
facts, okay. Well, if you're satisfied that I don't have any facts, you're welcome to go. Thanks for
and
coming
here's the
by.
thing, if
Drop
just
and drop some
remember,
money on that
Sean,
cash out.
if people put it
Drop an
out here
offering
on
on that cash
YouTube, we can do commentary on it. If he doesn't want anybody to talk about his videos, then he shouldn't make videos because people are going to talk about it. Okay, I'm really done this time.
Wait a minute, and you say you thought I had some inside facts. How inside? How more inside can you get from getting it from the horse's mouth? When you get it from the actual person that it man, the commentary is fine. Well, oh well, thank you. I'm glad you approve. And you know what? For you give put some money on it. Cause you give me too much. Put some money on it. Let me hear that ching-a-ling on my cash app. Cause you're doing too much right now. You're making me work too hard. I'm sorry, Corio.
That's okay. I just don't understand him coming down. Can you? Oh shoot! I can you hear me?
Hmm.
Okay. I just don't appreciate him specifically dropping down and calling and basically calling you a liar, and he's upset. But the thing about it is, if Marcus was going to be upset, he should have did a video about what
Exactly.
happened, because like I said, like we say in our sector, if you put it on YouTube, you make a video about it and you upload it for others to see, then other people can give commentary and talk about it, and that's just the bottom line. And Sislo, right? We watched the video, and now we're
Exactly.
doing commentary on it. So
And,
I haven't heard a lie told.
right. Here's the thing. You said a horse can lie, and too many people are in jail over a horse's mouth. Okay, check this out.
A horse can't
So we're
lie,
going
but
to
go
apply
ahead.
your same statement. We're going to apply your same statement, and we're going to put a name on that horse. A Marcus can lie. Too many people are in jail, or Marcus can go to jail over a horse's mouth.
Hmm.
And now you want now. So now my thing is, when I say out of the horse's mouth. We're talking about out of Marcus's mouth and out of the young lady's mouth.
Yana. Mm-hmm.
Kiana, Monique. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that they're lying on themselves. Why we lie on themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Why would she lie on herself? So you're not making any
At,
sense, Jar.
at the very least, if she was going to live with him sitting right beside her, technically in the live stream, it's not like she did a video off on her own. They were there together in that video, live. They were hearing each other in real time. So if she was lying, why didn't Marcus stop her and say, "No, no, no, now you're lying, ma'am. Now you're lying, Yana"? He didn't say that.
Right, and
He
even
didn't
she
say
was
that.
saying that there were 3 and 4 women in the bed at one time, and she said that he was also hiding her in the closet, and she said that there were times where she would be on the couch and he would be in the next room banging other women that he was
Exactly.
randomly bought in.
Exactly.
So
I just don't
and they
understand
did
where
it a
any
lot.
lies were told.
We are
There's no
basing
lies told
everything
by
on
you.
what the parties involved said.
Right.
It's not gossip. We're giving our commentary on it. Ain't no different than us coming on here talking about what happened on Power. It ain't gossip. That's what happened.
Right. And once again, if he did a video, putting this video out here telling his quote unquote truth and she telling her quote unquote truth, they put it out on a free application, which is YouTube, in a video, and so now people can give commentary on it, and that's the bottom line. So where's the gossip? Go ahead, girl.
You're
I
talking about
can't.
what other chick? What other chick? You're talking about what other chick? Because see, even Marcus spoke about Monique in this last video, and everything that Monique said in her video, he said the same thing. The same thing. The same thing.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. You know, it's okay. He's caping for someone, like you said, that he likes. He either wants to emulate or he is already there.
Right.
So you have told no lies.
You just, I'm done. He said he didn't.
Okay.
No, he said he didn't the second day. He said he didn't the second day. He did hit the first day. He didn't hit the second day. When he said we're gonna get this a trial run. He didn't hit the second day because she was too high. And by that time he didn't want it. Because she fell asleep and he let her sleep. Then he put her out. And you don't know either. Okay, Sean. If you want to keep talking to me, put a ring on. All right, we done. We done. So anyway, we've been on here an hour, hon. You wanted to add anything else to this?
Yes, just the last thing. Um, when Yana mentioned Kiki's name, and when she was going through the pregnancy and everything, and she was like, I needed an older woman to speak to, and I'm so glad Kiki was there for me. And something in my spirit was like, I think she talked about Kiki Pride. And but I'm thinking, what are the odds? Because see, I don't, watch Kiki, and so I didn't know that she had did an interview with him, Marcus, about a month ago. So I'm like clueless, but like you said, that discernment, something in your spirit, I'm like, I know they're not talking about Kiki Prime because you have to think how big YouTube is. You know how many Kikis there probably are on YouTube or something. So anyway, then soon as I thought that, no lie, like maybe a minute and a half later, I saw Kiki Prime Baby, which is her YouTube channel name, in the chat. And I thought it's a small world. And that's one thing I can say is that I'm glad that I don't know what point she talked to Kiki. I don't know if it was before or after the baby. Let's just say that way. And so, but whatever. Kiki has a daughter, and so, and her daughter's not a 5 year old at all. She's an older child. And then I think she does take care of her niece who's in her late teens, I believe. But anyway, they're young women, both of her daughter and her niece. And so she's had um practice with dealing with young ladies like this. And so I'm just happy. And granted, I don't know, what they talked about, but Yana was very thankful of the guidance that Kiki gave her. So I just want to shout out to Kiki and for being there for the young woman, especially when her relationship started off with Marcus, but when the one young lady called her or sent her an email to ask for help and they talked, I'm glad that she felt comfortable enough to open up to someone and obviously Yana felt it was a positive experience. And so I'm just, shout out to Kiki for being there. But I'm gonna tell you, I was shocked that it was actually Kiki Prime. But go ahead. That's all I wanted to say because somebody needed, in my opinion, needed to be there for that young lady because I think that she's younger than what she said. Um, and an adult in America is at 21 years of age. That's all I'm trying to say. And I'm glad that if that young woman doesn't have a mother or didn't feel comfortable talking to her mother or any females in her family, that, someone was there that made her feel comfortable and at the moment not so vulnerable. But I don't know why, or maybe it was the static in the video. Did it
Or
ever say why Sislo she finally decided to go ahead and um not have the baby?
floor, on the floor. Yes. I'm sorry. My son
Did
was talking.
That's okay. Did she say why she decided? Because there was so much, the video was a little difficult to understand. Was it just him talking to her? And I'm going to say, and this is just me, not Sislo, I'm going to say pressuring her to not have the baby. Um, did Yana ever say why she didn't, or was it him just talking her into it because he's a 40-year-old man and she's a quote unquote 23-year-old young woman?
Well, he pretty much said he talked her into it. I mean,
See, yeah,
because he said his gut feeling,
yeah.
that feeling just told him that this wasn't gonna work out. His
But
gut.
okay, but here's my point. And I can't stress this enough because to me it happened on numerous occasions in the video. Oh, his gut told him it wasn't going to work out. His gut told him it wasn't going to work out if she had a baby. but his gut wasn't in the picture when it was time to have X. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? When it was
his,
time to
his gut,
have,
his gut
yeah,
nut
or
wasn't
yeah,
agreeing.
yeah, yeah, or time to have, multiple partners in his bed. It was okay. Then his gut wasn't telling him nothing but go, 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 go. But when it came time to this later situation, oh, his gut was shouting from the rooftops. Girl, girl, girl. Ah, Marcus is a trip. We just gonna say that.
Yeah, I
But he's
no
gonna end
longer.
up getting caught up.
Yeah, he's going. Somebody gonna end up. See, it's like this. He gonna mess around and get Diddy or Kelly. He gonna mess
Yeah.
around and get himself in a situation that he can't get out of.
Yep. Or,
And
um, yeah, yeah.
because and then because of his reputation, it won't be hard to find a witness because of what other women have said, and they're all lining up to pretty much say the same. Just like the girl Layla, the pretty little girl, and
I'm gonna have to watch that when
she
I
not, yeah, Layla is a little on this, she not, she's a little immature, and but she's
I'm
very,
telling you, these girls are not as old as they're telling them. But go ahead, they're
she's
not
right, and they're not as mature either. Whether
right.
they are older or not, they're not in the mind. And some of them even admit that they have mental issues.
Exactly,
They even admit that they
exactly.
have mental issues. So it's
Mm-mm.
like they're not at the capacity mentally that someone their age would be. So it's like it's still praying. If you listen, if you giving room and board to a person
Mm-hmm.
and treating them in a way that they've not been treated by
Mm-hmm.
giving them enough money to, get their hair done or, buy a new
Mm-hmm.
little outfit, a City Trends outfit or something every now and again. Of course, they're going to think because they're not acclimated to anything like that. But
Let
they
me tell
don't
you
know.
something. Let me tell you.
Go
Even
ahead.
if people want to think that the only way that the sex slavery trade, or sex period, when it's, is that you have to have, you know, things happen actually, okay? But when it comes to um the sex trade and you know the things that are going on now in the world today, because I don't want to say too many things, but um you can get in trouble for having someone in your home doing housework for no pay. You see what I'm saying? When you have a house guest, it's expected that they're going to eat, they're going to be able to sleep. But when you do it over a course of time and there's no, they're not getting paid for it, you can have problems there. Do you understand what I'm saying, Sis Love?
Hmm.
If you had someone in your house and and they're washing your clothes, because I got that inference. Now, on this, Sean, I may be wrong, but I got the inference that, while she was there for the 5 months, she was probably doing his clothes, washing his clothes, cleaning the house, maybe cooking. But she was so
Hmm.
daggone young, I don't think she could cook much, because just even if she really is 23. But I think she dusting, mopping the floors, doing whatever. I got the feeling that She wasn't just laying around being able to eat bonbons. Did you get that feeling, Sis Low?
You said you got to say that last part again. You got.
I got the feeling, and this is just my opinion and how I felt. And on this, Sean can actually have a ground to stand on. But I felt, Sis Low, that for those 5 months, she just wasn't being allowed to sit around and eat bonbons. I think she had to work for,
Mm,
she was doing laundry, she was cooking, maybe, but cleaning, keeping his house clean. You understand what I'm saying? I felt, and that in itself, under certain uh, under certain circumstances, can be illegal. It could
yeah.
be, the SLAV, uh,
Mm,
you know, charges. Because in
yeah.
America, you have to pay someone for their services, whether they're your housekeeper, your cook, your the person that does your yard work. You have to pay for goods and services. It's not okay. Anyway, girl, I can't. But like I said, I'm glad Kiki was there for her, and because the girls talked really positively and said Kiki helped her. So I'm just glad of that. And I just wanted to add this last little part, since well, now I'm gonna shut the F up. Um, with Monique, I watched the video you sent me, and I was genuinely disturbed by her video. And then on top of that, it was at night and it was cold, and she's still outside telling this story. I was so concerned. I was like, well, let me see if she's made any videos recently, because I was concerned about her. And sure enough, she had just did a video 11 days ago. So I was in the process of watching that video when you sent, right when you sent sent that you were live. But she's doing okay. She looks good. She's living in her car. She was eating. She looked healthy. She was proud that she had just got her braids done. And it seems almost like she might be doing Instacart or something like that. But she's living in her car, and she seems not satisfied with life, because nobody's satisfied while they're living in their car, but she seemed grateful and happy that she wasn't completely outside. And that
Mm.
made me, I wish I could get in contact with her,
Yeah. I
and
think
help her in
back
some
in
way.
Chicago. She's back in Chicago though.
Oh, is she back in Chicago?
Uh-huh. Yep,
But
she's back.
she's living in her car. She has a beautiful smile, and she just got her hair braided, and she was just so happy.
Yeah,
She was happy.
yeah.
And God bless her. I don't know. I would never be happy. And if God is um, upset with Marcus, and how he's doing how he's living his life, I'm sure there have been thousands of people that have called in on Marcus to report him, whether anything pans out or not, or if they don't take it serious. That's on the police. But I'm
Mm,
sure thousands of people have called in on Marcus.
yeah. If he keeps at the pace that he's going, it's only a matter of time. He really has to tread lightly and be very careful. And it's not all about you being grown and doing what grown-ups do and that type of thing. The truth of the matter is it's like being ethically and morally correct on those things, especially.
Absolutely.
what you're
Absolutely.
doing. Yeah, what
Absolutely.
you're doing is supposed to be for the greater good of people. So, well, we thank you for tuning in and having to say this definitely won't be our last conversation. It might not be our last conversation. Our another conversation on this particular topic, but unless something else comes up. But I'm grateful that you have given us your attention for an hour and a quarter. I definitely appreciate Miss Watermelon Sugar, Mr. Sean Woods,
Hi,
even though
Watermelon.
they've been in my thorn in my side. That girl and all the other people that may have dropped in and out. I'm very grateful for you guys, and we'll be back with another.
Listen,
I'm gonna come
I want to
back.
thank you for having. Yeah, I want to thank you for having me, and I hope I didn't talk too much, but
No, you,
I probably
you perfect, perfect.
I probably wouldn't have if Sean wasn't in the chat, clapping for Marcus. I probably wouldn't have. And Sean, I just want to apologize if I came off strong, but I don't know, as a woman, looking at another young woman dealing with a 40-year-old grown ASS man, it just kind of put me in a space where I start working with the Rubik's Cube, and at every angle, I found personally that Marcus dead wrong. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
Well, I am going to go and treat this cough, and you
Oh my
also have a
goodness.
good night,
Thank you.
Sean.
You too, sis. Yeah.
And Sean, thanks for dropping in. And I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Watermelon sugar, darling.
Oh, that's so
I thank you
sweet.
all for dropping through. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share this video. Um, and you can also support the channel. There are costs to keep this channel going, so you can support the channel by hitting us up on Cash App with $ Sislo SISLO, and Coriel doesn't have her Cash App for
No, I'm
whatever.
good. I do this
And
because I love you, sis. Low. I wouldn't charge a
love you
dime
more.
to all the money they're going to give. Let them give it to you. But I'm going to
Uh,
drop down. Okay. I'll talk to you later, babe.
all right, love you.
Love you too.
Um, Watermelon sugar, I love you and I appreciate you for liking and for sharing and for supporting the channel. I'll say goodbye because goodbye is too permanent. So we'll just say later for now. I love you on purpose and it ain't nothing you can do about it. Hey, Charlie, I'm sorry you got here when we were leaving. Please come back. See us, but do the red ball. Take a look back through the video. Okay, honey. Love y'all.